Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the for me, the 5 easiest but coolest mounts that you can farm in World of Warcraft. And I've tried to make these very easy, pretty much by doing one action a day for a little brief time period or easily farmable within a day. Some of them will require you to complete side quests. I am assuming most players will have done the side quests, at least in certain areas. Okay, so let's begin. The first one we're taking a look at is the Tempermental Skyclaw, a pretty cool looking mount if I do say so myself, and probably the easiest one to get on this list. So basically you need to complete a Gnoll related side quest in the Dragonflight Hollow, the True Survivors side quest. The easiest way is just to have Sojourner of the Azure Span, which requires you to do all the side quests. Some people won't like this, and unfortunately that's the easiest way to guarantee you have the quest done. Once you have done that, all you have to do is simply go to an auction house and buy yourself Flash Frozen Meat, Nolan's House Special, and Tuskar Jerky. If you do not want to buy these, it will cost you around 4,000 gold depending on your server. Then you can find Nolan's House Special and the Tuskar Jerky from Dragonflight Hollow and from Dark Hide Gnolls. You can also find Flash Frozen Meat from the Gnolls at Camp Nowhere. However, it will also only drop if you've completed a certain side quest as well, called Whack a Gnoll. I suggest buying it. It's a lot easier. It's only 4,000 gold, which sounds like a lot, but isn't really nowadays. And honestly speaking, it's going to save you a bunch of time. Once you've collected all of these, you simply have to travel to the location, which is in Azure Span, and it is the Three Falls Lookout. You will find a man there named Zonwagi. I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm probably butchering it horribly. But you will find Zonwagi there, and as always, you just need to give him a little chat and hand over the items, and you will have the Tempermental Skyclaw, which, again, as I mentioned, is probably the coolest mount on this list. Well, I want to say one of the cooler looking mounts on this list, and I think just a cool looking mount in general, if I'm being honest. So yeah, the next one is also a very easy mount, and this one just simply requires you to do some daily quests. So this is Lizi's Reins. Now to get access to this, you also have to complete a side quest called Sneaking In, which is available at Renown 9 with the Maruk Centaur, and can be found in the Azure Springs area. Again, performing Sojourner of the Anaran Plains will assist you in making sure that you have this side quest done. Otherwise, you're going to be looking for Sneaking In, which is available from the Azure Springs area, and will ask you or task you with getting the Lizi into the area. Of course, that is not the only thing you need to do, but it is the start of it. What you're going to need to do afterwards is finish that quest, and then you'll find a new quest that is available called Taming the Thunderspine. And this is very, very, very simple. You get one of these per day. You can only do one per day, and there's 5 in total. They all simply require you to get some easy-to-access materials. Fluorescent fluid from any insect creature, high fiber from any plant creature, 1,000 bite piranha, only 10 of them, which you can get from fishing, and woolly mountain pelts, which drop from mammoths and yaks, etc. in all over Dragonflight. These are very simple to get, and you shouldn't have a problem. Each day will ask you for one of them until the 5th and final quest, where it will ask you to purchase a green curry from Own Maloon. This is also, again, fairly simple. Own Maloon is right across the way, and you'll be able to find them very easily. I will leave a waypoint mark for Own Maloon in the description to this video, so that you can copy that into your TomTom or whichever appropriate add-on you're using, but they really are literally right across from the quest giver. And that's that. You will then have Lizi, who's a pretty cool looking mount. I don't want to say the best looking mount, but they are pretty cool. I would say they're definitely a nice mount to have. I think they're very solid. and I think they're pretty cool to add to the collection. The next mount that we're going to be taking a look at is farming a rare, but it's a very, very easy one. It has a 66% drop rate, which is a lot, okay, for items. A pretty decent drop rate, 66.7%, and you will find them in this location in, again, the Anaran Plains. So super duper simple. You can see where I am. Again, apologies, but again, I will leave the waypoint in the description. And this one's very simple. You come here to farm the mount. The mount has a chance to drop a Zenet egg. Once you have the Zenet egg, all you have to do is wait 7 days, and the Zenet egg will hatch into the Zenet Hatchling mount, which is pretty good, and again is really, really awesome. It is a very nice flying mount and looks just like the rare. The next one is also a rare hunting mount. Again, very, very simple. To get this one, you simply need to fight Breezebiter. Thank you very much. The drop chance is a little bit lower, down to a massive 2.5%, but it's a fairly easy one to get. The mount is up quite frequently, and it's basically a reskin of the one we got earlier. The reason I suggest this mount is because not only, again, is it easy to get, it has 2 spawn locations, both of which I'll leave in the chat, and both of which are fairly easy to get. They both spawn quite easily. So not only is that there, but there's also a nice little pet that you can get in this location. If you look at this tree here, you will find sap here, and you can take the sap, apply it to this little stick you see on the top here, and that bird that you see over there will fly across to the stick, and you will be able to pick up a little pet. So not only can you come here and try your hand at farming the mount, but you can also get your hands on a pretty cool little pet as well. Again, just to kind of preface it, this is probably the hardest mount to farm on this list. The drop rate is low, the lowest, so to say. And obviously as well, just to kind of preface it, unfortunately, there is other people that will be farming this mount. It is only a reskin of the first mount I showed you, so if you're happy enough with that color, then don't really bother too much with this one. I did want to put it there as it is probably a super easy mount to farm, and for those of you who aren't big on questing but kind of want the Tempermental Skyclaw, then you're going to need to do that. And just to show you the bird flying to the stick, you need to right click it, by the way, to get the mount pet. It will spawn into your inventory. And there we go. And I managed to beef up my pet collection, so that's pretty awesome. The last mount, which is fairly easy to get, I have touched on previously in the video, and this is the Stormhide Salamanther. Now this is a fairly simple mount to get, actually, and it requires you to do Primal Storms. Now Primal Storms are honestly very simple concept. I've covered them in great detail on this channel, but Primal Storms, super duper easy. You simply fly to the storm location. Once you are at the storm location, you kill enemies in there, and you will get a currency called Elemental Overflow. Now it's important to hunt rares in the location, as rares will give you a high chance of increased drop rates, from 10 to 20, which does make things obviously substantially easier, especially when you're trying to grind over 2,000 Elemental Overflow. It's not really an easy grind. I do find doing 100 or 200 a week is fairly simple. It takes around 30 minutes or so, especially in an area that's abundant with rares that respawn. And I find that in general, it's not the worst grind in the world. Of course, it can be. There's no mistaking that. But generally speaking, it's a pretty, it's a pretty straightforward grind. And honestly, I just don't see that big an issue with how it functions, basically. But yeah, overall, I would say pretty good stuff. And farming the Elemental Overflow isn't that bad. Once you have the required 2,000 Elemental Overflow, all you have to do is head back to Vildraken and speak to an NPC called Mithressa. Mithressa can be located by where you find the other Elemental Storm items, and if you scroll across to a final page, you should see their Stormhide Salamanther. There's a second mount, but not so easy to get. And that's that. That is 5 easy, very cool mounts to get. Honestly speaking, all of these don't necessarily have a time limit and merely determine on you farming them. And the ones that do have a time limit are also very simple to do each and every day. So thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best of luck. And let me know if there's any other mounts you think are easy, or any other mounts you think I should cover on how to get. And yeah, but otherwise I'll see you guys next time. Till then, have a good day. Bye.